Hello, I'm Serena Vane, your storyteller of love, longing, and quiet miracles. Today, I have come to share a tale woven from fresh emotions, new hearts, and the kind of destiny that touches the soul. On the edge of a small coastal town, where fishing nets hung like tired prayers, and evening fog rolled in as softly as breath, Nora Hale ran a tiny lantern shop. She didn't talk much, at least not about herself, and most people assumed she was simply quiet by nature. But truthfully, she stayed busy so she wouldn't have to feel the heaviness of the silence her life had become. One late autumn evening, while she was adjusting the wick of a brass lantern, the door chimed, and a man walked in, carrying the kind of exhaustion that only travelers possess. One late autumn evening, while she was adjusting the wick of a brass lantern, the door chimed, and a man walked in, carrying the kind of exhaustion that only travelers possess. "Is this the place that fixes old things?" he asked, lifting a weathered wooden lantern that looked like it had sailed through storms. Nora glanced up. The man had gentle, tired eyes that seemed to be searching for something beyond repairs. "We fix what can be saved," she replied softly. "I'll need a closer look." He exhaled, relieved. "I'm Elias Rowan." She took the lantern into her hands. "It has history," she murmured, brushing off layers of salt and memory. "My mother's," he said. "She used to hang it outside our porch every winter. I haven't lit it since she passed." Nora nodded, sensing the fragile thread between his words. "Then it deserves to glow again." Over the next few days, Elias returned, first to check on the lantern's progress, then simply because the shop felt warm in ways he couldn't explain. He told stories of the ocean, of places he'd seen but never stayed long enough to belong to. Nora listened with a quiet focus that made his wandering heart slow down. One evening, as rain tapped lightly on the windows, he lingered beside her work table. "You fix things with so much care," he said. "Do you ever fix things for yourself?" Nora paused, fingers hovering over a set of tiny screws. "Some things aren't so easy," she admitted. "Some things require another pair of hands." Elias swallowed, unsure if she meant him or life in general. "Maybe you've just been doing it alone for too long." Her eyes lifted, soft, surprised. "Maybe." The next morning, he brought her coffee, warm bread, and a story about a gull that wouldn't let him eat in peace. She laughed, actually laughed, and the sound startled both of them with how alive it felt. As days turned into weeks, the space between them grew tender. Elias found excuses to stay longer. Nora found reasons to tell him parts of her life she hadn't told anyone in years. How she built lanterns because she feared darkness. How she lost her fiancé in an accident on a night when all the streetlights went out. "I thought love was something that happens once," she whispered. He reached out, touching her wrist with the gentleness of dawn. "Maybe love is something that keeps finding us, even when we stop expecting it." The lantern was finally finished on a winter evening, just as the first snowfall began. Nora handed it to him, polished and glowing softly from the flame she had lit inside. Elias didn't look at the lantern. He looked at her. "Come outside with me," he said. They stepped into the cold air. Snowflakes drifted slowly, resting on their hair like blessings. Elias hung the lantern on the hook beside her shop door, light flickering steady and warm. "It belonged to my mother," he said, "but the glow, this glow, feels like you." Nora's breath caught. "Elias." He took her hands. "I don't have many roots. Maybe I've been waiting for someone whose light pulls me to stay." Her heart stumbled, then steadied in a way it hadn't in years. "Then stay," she whispered, "if you want to." He smiled, quiet, sincere, full of something new. "I want to." Under the lantern's soft warmth, they stood close enough for the cold to forget them. And for the first time in a long while, Nora felt the world shift, not with fear, but with a beginning, a small miracle, a gentle hope, a new light.